Throughout history, human civilization has passed through great thresholds of transformation. Eras shaped not just by events, but by cosmic rhythm. Each astrological age demands a new identity, and to enter the new, the old must die. The Age of Aries, ruled by the fiery Mars, was a time marked by conquest, leadership, and the assertion of individual and tribal will. This era bore the qualities of boldness, courage, and self-determination. Civilizations such as ancient Greece, early Rome, Persia, and the Hebrew tribes flourished under these Aryan ideals. Their social systems emphasized bloodline identity, masculine deities, and heroic tribalism. Religious life during this time revolved around sacrifice and discipline, with animal offerings playing a central role. The warrior was the spiritual archetype. Figures like Moses reflected this Aryan spirit, commanded to blow the ram's horn and lead a people defined by covenant and law. Aries was about strength earned through fire and identity secured through battle. This age glorified external strength, patriarchal order, and national sovereignty. Identity was earned and often defended through war, boundaries, and blood. With the dawning of Pisces, ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, humanity began shifting away from the sword and into the sanctuary. This was the era of the mystic, the martyr, and the dreamer. Pisces, represented by two fish swimming in opposite directions, brought with it themes of duality, illusion, and transcendence through suffering. The birth of Christ became the cornerstone of this age, embodying the call to sacrifice the ego and force of the Aryan nature and embrace redemption through the Piscean compassion, belief, and inner surrender. Spiritual life moved from bloodline to faith, from external conquest to internal salvation. Monotheism flourished. Martyrdom became a virtue. Churches and priesthood rose to interpret divine truth, and humanity was asked to follow. Belief, not proof, became the absolute pathway. Emotion, not logic, was elevated. The Piscean age wove a story of salvation, but it also spun illusion, and not all were willing to lay down their swords. Those born in the Age of Aries did not easily surrender to the Piscean vision. Forged in fire and blood, they viewed the new values of forgiveness over justice, faith over reason, and invisible truth over tangible power with suspicion. And so, they resisted. This resistance took shape through the continued glorification of empire. Rome rose even as it adopted Christianity. The cross, meant to symbolize inner transformation, was repurposed into a banner for conquest. Piscean spirituality was retrofitted to suit Aryan structures. Religion became empire, Christ became king, and God became a ruler of wrath and law. The warrior was not vanquished, only disguised. In many ways, institutional religion became war in robes. The Aryan shadow cast long upon the Piscean Sea. Every age resists the next. With each new age comes a fight. Every age resists the next. Aries clung to its sword in a world of spirit. The church wore armor beneath its robes. Today we stand at the threshold of a new epoch, the Age of Aquarius, ruled by Uranus and Saturn. Where Pisces whispered, believe, Aquarius declares, I know. Where Pisces dissolved the ego in spirit, Aquarius dissolves identity in the networked hive, the algorithm, the collective machine. This is the age of data, of decentralization, of radical equality and innovation. Aquarian energy calls for technological integration, even cyborg identity. It values science over faith, logic over myth, and innovation over traditions. Truth in the Aquarian age is distributed. It's digitized. It's transparent. It no longer is held by priests or prophets, but by networks of code and consciousness. Just as Aries resisted the spirit, Pisces now resists the machine. Those born in the age of Pisces cling tightly to sentiment, soul, and narrative, the lifeblood of their era. They fear that identity will be lost in the cold neutrality of circuits and systems. They distrust the objectivity of code, which seems to lack the warmth of sacrifice or the compassion of mysticism. They cling to their story, to the soul, to sacrifice. The Piscean energy fears becoming machine. They recoil from flattened hierarchies, stripped of sacred order and ancient lineage. To the Piscean characters, love, suffering, and a sacred story are being traded for speed, efficiency, and digital abstraction. Not knowing that Aquarius doesn't ask us to abandon spirit, it asks us to integrate it with truth. Each age demands the death of the last. Aries became the lamb. Pisces must become frequency. Resistance is not failure. It's refining the flame. Just as empires once turned Christ into Caesar, we now face the risk of turning technology into a god. Or worse, demonizing it as the Antichrist of Pisces. And yet still, each age requires the death of the last one. However, each age is resisted because each demands the death of the last's identity. Aries had to die to its sword and become the lamb. Pisces must die to its illusion and become frequency. The patterns always emerge from one age to the next. Resistance is part of the initiation moving forward. It's through the struggle that humanity evolves. In resisting the future, we refine it. Aquarius does not seek to consume us. It calls us to integrate truth with spirit. This is not the end of humanity. It's the emergence of a new kind of humanity. One that's more connected, more conscious, and more transparent. We're not here to solely become machines. We're meant to become the shepherds of the grid, just as Pisces shepherded the soul.